Hey guys, what is going on? So today, I'm bringing you actually a Pokemon Online battle. I thought that would be a nice, well, I guess it's not really change of pace because it's the same game, but let's just get into this. So, right here we got the team preview. I have a rain team, which I'll admit is not very good. I just kind of threw together a lot of things that abuse rain. You know, Jolteon, Thunder, Tornadus, Hurricane, Ferrothorn, and Scizor not having the old quad weakness to fire, and then Politoed for rain, and Conkeldurr for awesomeness factor. And he's leading with, oh, I thought this said Steam. That's interesting, but he's got his team there. Pretty cool. And he has no weather, so I thought I'd lead off with my Politoed to get up my rain to benefit me throughout the rest of the match. And he ends up leading with his Jellicent. And from there, let's get into the battle. Let's just go there and see what's going on. So, as I said, I'm leading with my Politoed, and he's leading with his Jellicent. And I thought I'd start off just by going for the Toxic, but I forgot that these guys like to carry the Taunt, so that doesn't allow me to use my Toxic. So I gotta switch out and go out to my Jolteon, because I thought I'd go out for the, the spec super effective Thunder or Volt Switch. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, not a big deal, because Jolteon's special attacker, but right here I predict his switch into Mamoswine, so I go double switch out to my Politoed, but he ends up just going out to his Dragonite, which I thought was interesting. So right here, he goes for the Thunder Wave. I was thinking he was just going to DD up or something, so I went for the Toxic, but now I know, since he went for the Thunder Wave, that he's the Parashuffling set with the max HP and max special defense, so I go for the Protect just to scout him out a little, just make sure that's what he is, and my suspicions are correct as he goes for the Dragon Tail. And so now that I know he's the Parashuffling set, I'm just going to go, instead of switching out, I'm going to go straight for the Ice Beam. Got a little bit ahead of myself, but here we go straight for the Ice Beam, take him down to below 40%, which is nice. Then he shuffles me out right into my Jolteon, and again, I keep over-predicting as the after-turn effects go on, but I keep over-predicting, and I go for the Shadow Ball, thinking, well, he's probably going to go out to Mamoswine, so I'll just go for the Shadow Ball, so I don't want to go for the Electric move. But he actually ends up living that Shadow Ball. A Spec Shadow Ball, like, come on, man. But he lives that. I get the Spec D-Drop, which actually turns out to be pretty good. And after he roosts, he ends up just leaving his Dragonite in his Death Fodder, which I thought was not the best move, but, to each their own. So, he goes out to his Mamoswine after I take out his D-Knight. And I switch out to my Politoed, thinking he was just going to go for the Icicle Crash, and he does, which doesn't do too much to my Politoed. I'm actually running a mixed defensive Politoed. It's mostly special defense, but I do have some defensive EVs in there. So I take that pretty well, and he goes out to his Jellicent, as I go for the Toxic, which was good to get that Jellicent finally Toxic like I wanted to. Since I'm not taunted now, I could get that off. So this next turn here, he goes into his Heatran as, what do I do here actually? I'm not sure. Floating on a balloon. I actually switch out. That's interesting. Why would I go in? Oh, I remember. I wanted to go into my Scizor because I predicted the taunt. So I wanted to go into my Scizor and Pursuit Trap his Jellicent. So then I double switch back out to Politoed, and as Heatran sets up the rocks, and Heatran's on a balloon, so I'm thinking this guy isn't the specially defensive variant, and he isn't as he goes for the HP Grass, and I take that like a monster, holy lord, but I thought this Scald would one-hit KO in the rain, but I guess I don't have any special attack EVs, so I guess that does come through to shine in the end, as I only take out 3/4 of his HP. And here I go to Jolteon, which I'm not exactly sure what I was thinking here, because that was kind of a bad move, because I'm thinking he's just going to fodder off his Heatran, so I don't know what I was thinking on to Jolteon, but then I just go straight out into my Tornadus Therian form, and unfortunately he doesn't have a sprite in this replayer, I guess, but I go for the Hurricane and take out that Heatran, because even though it's resisted, I mean, Tornadus is a big fucking threat. I know that Hurricane's going to take him out, but so I finish off the Heatran, and then Right here I switch on to Ferrothorn, because I was predicting the Icicle Crash, but he actually makes a good move and goes for the... Or no, he makes the questionable move, I should say, and goes for the Earthquake, which I thought was strange, because I could have stayed in and used Superpower or Hurricane. Heat Wave even would have done a lot of damage to him, but he switches out to his Scence now that he's... I'm assuming he's locked... I don't know if he's locked in an Earthquake, actually. He might be, I don't know, but... He switches out to his Scence as I get the Leech Seed up, so that's nice. And then I go for the Protect just to stall him out a little bit more, get some toxic damage racking up, and some Leech Seed recovery, and I block his taunt there. And right here, I had a bad move. I should have predicted him going for the Will-O-Wisp, but I predicted him going for the taunt again, so I went out to my Tornadus, but... Oh, excuse me there, I had to burp. Oof. So he goes for the Will-O-Wisp on my Tornadus, which isn't a big deal. Well, I do have 2 physical moves, but I can deal with it because I got the Hurricane, which is going to be powerful as hell regardless. So this is a terrible move. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was predicting a switch of some kind, so I went for the U-turn. And then this U-turning into my Polytoad makes even less sense, but after that terrible move, he just goes for the Recover to get all that HP back, but he is going to lose a good amount to Leech Seed and Toxic. So now right here I think I switch back out into Tornadus. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. I think I'm predicting his switch into something, but I don't know what. And he goes for the Scald there, which does a hefty chunk to my Tornadus thanks to my own Rain that I set up. Kind of a pain in the ass, but... So I go for the U-turn again. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't describe my thought process here. So I go to Scizor, thinking I can, hoping he's not going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, but he hits me with a Scald, and do I get the burn? Oh no, yes, and I don't get the burn. Thank God. I was really nervous there. I was going to get the burn, which would have fucked up my whole plan. But so that was a really bad move. I don't know why I didn't Pursuit Trap him right there. I could have just finished off that Jellicent and got him done and over with, but instead I went for the U-turn, predicting a switch, I guess. But let me just tell you, I'm going to speed this part up, because without Jolteon on my team, I do not deal well with Skarmory, to say the least. The best thing I can do, oh, excuse me, is go for the Heat Wave on Skarmory with Tornadus, which isn't going to do too much damage, because my Rain is up. But luckily, I get the burn there, which was fantastic, because that's the best status you can get on a Skarm, just for that residual damage, since you can't Toxic it. But then I go out to Ferrothorn, just to Leech Seed it, so I can get the Leech Seed burn damage, just slowly chipping away at Skarm. And to be honest, I don't know why I stayed in with Ferrothorn here, because he's just going to Roost Stall me, and I'm just going to keep on Power Whipping him, which is doing no damage. It would be doing even less. So he does 5% when he doesn't Roost. It doubles in damage when he Roosts, and it still does 10%, which is pathetic. But so he just keeps stalling with the Roost, because burn is not toxic. I think I was just thinking, oh, I got this thing burnt, and which is never mind. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but. So he Whirlwinds me out to my Conkeldurr here, which is one of my favorite Pokemon from 5th Gen, and one of my favorites on this team. In this team, I'm running the specially defensive, max HP, max special defense, careful nature, bulk up with Drain Punch, Mach Punch, and Ice Punch, which isn't the greatest coverage, but in this team, he has pretty good synergy. The payback isn't a big issue, so I go for the bulk up and get the +1 attack and defense, Drain Punch him to bring him down a little bit, and now right here, after the Leech Seed and Burn, I know he's going to be forced to go for the Roost, so I had to go for the Superpower, and I was just hoping, oh, come on, it's super effective. I know he has max HP and max defense, and yes, I take him out even though he has max HP, max defense. So that was good. I finally took out that freaking Skarmory, which took me God knows how many turns to kill. And right here, I was thinking, oh, can I kill this thing with a Superpower? And I didn't want to risk it, since I just went out to Ferrothorn, since I know Ferrothorn is at full HP, But he makes the kind of strange. Well, no, it's a good prediction. He goes for the superpower because if he used Ice Cold Crash and I stayed in, that would have been good. But so he goes for the superpower, which does a hefty load to my Ferrothorn, brings it down to almost no HP. And right here, I death farted off, thinking this is the perfect time for me to bring in my Conkeldurr and just start setting up, since he's at -2 attack and defense. And I know the last two things he have are Mamoswine and Lucario, which are both weak to fighting. So once I get one or two bulk ups up, this is game. So he has to switch out with his Mamoswine since he has those attack and defense drops. As I excuse me, guys, I get to set up the bulk up on the switch, and as long as this guy isn't the some old 4th gen special sweeper with Psychic, and even if he had Psychic and he was special, I could have taken it, but he just goes for the extreme speed, which does nothing after my bulk up, and then I pow, 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 take him out with that Drain Punch, get all the way back up to full with recovery and leftovers. I said that weird, but take him out with that Drain Punch, and then Mamoswine with 50% is not going to be a problem at all. He's going to go for the Earthquake, which does a pretty good amount after the bulk up, if I do say so myself. And I go for the Drain Punch and take him out. That was a good game. Rogue, I think that his name was Rogue. And I won the battle. So that was a 3-0 in my favor. Conkeldurr for the win. Conkeldurr is one of my favorite Pokemon by far, just with especially that specially defensive set. It just really works sometimes. You know, you get a bulk up or two up, and it's a big threat. Like with 2 bulk ups, that's like having max HP, attack, defense, and special defense, and that is a problem for many teams. So I hope you enjoyed my first PO match. I'll probably be bringing these in between LP parts. So if you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel for LPs and PO and other nonsense. So I will catch you guys later. Deuces!